All right, guys. I said, what do you guys want to hear about next? Because I've done a quick little short about this little guy. The only response I got was someone asking about this one. So I'm going to tell you the quick story about how I came to own this 1956 Chevy. This beautiful specimen was a car that actually has a bigger story than it should have. I got it out of Odessa, Texas, March of 2024, and I've been gathering parts ever since. Now, the plan was to start working on this pretty much right away. This snowballed, and I'll have to tell you a story about it. It's gotten way out of hand. The most infamous words that cost you time and money in any restoration project is, while I'm here, let me go ahead and. That pretty much sums up what's going on over there. Back over here. So this 1956 Chevrolet I got out of Odessa, Texas. I got it when I was at work and I got a call from a friend of mine that said, David Newbern. I don't know him, so hopefully it's okay that I said his name. Dave, if you see this, I'm not trying to ride your coattails. Anyway, he made a post about a fella out in Texas where he would get cars from. Had passed away about 5 years ago, and his wife had finally decided to get rid of some stuff. When she decided, to get rid of stuff, the oil companies in the area were purchasing up land, and she had just had enough of staring at some of Dickie's stuff, and she decided some of it needed to go. So I responded to a Facebook post. This is when I was active on Facebook. Didn't get anything back. Didn't hear anything. Tried 3 or 4 times. Sent a message to Mr. Newbern. He didn't respond because, of course, he was inundated. The post basically said, hey, I know a lady. She's got a field full of Tri-5s. Mostly 4-doors, some wagons. Someone go get these things, help this woman out. So I sent messages. He then posted her phone number. I had a friend trying to call her. This poor lady, I know with how hard I was trying, she was just hammered with messages and stuff. So I finally messaged her and I just said, look, I don't want to waste any of your time. Do you have any 56s? I don't care if they're 2-door or 4-door. I'll figure it out from there. I wanted a 1956, and I'll get into why in a minute. But she finally messaged me back, and she said, I have 2. There were only 2 56s on the property. Both were 4-doors. One was cut right here, and just this quarter section of the roof from the B-pillar back to the back glass and to about halfway was cut out. Someone needed a roof section, and they just took it. Doors were missing. It was just in terrible shape. And she had this one sitting on blocks. Dickie had put it on blocks, so the frame was out of the mud. It had 3 of the 4 doors still on it, and I'll get to why they're missing here in a second, and no front clip. So I messaged her. I said, all right, you've got one. I said, man, let's see. I said, I'm going to assume they have no paperwork, but how much do you want? She messaged me back with $300. And I said, how do I get you money? How long do I have to move it? She gave me a month, and I immediately sent her $300. And we started planning to go out there. A buddy of mine showed up with a van. I left work middle of the day on Friday. I'm in Alabama, but I'm right up against the panhandle of Florida. We left at about noon on Friday. We were at her front door in Odessa, Texas at 6:30 a.m. Saturday to start loading this thing up. We had to put wheels on it, get it up off the ground, figure out if it rolled, and get it on a trailer. While we were there, she gave us free reign of the shop. I found a trunk lid. I believe I found this one. I found the bumper and a front apron and a radiator support. And then I found a bunch of other stuff. There's the apron and some other parts. I found one taillight for a 56. And we just went digging through the yard, and she just let us. In that crate right there is a long block that she was gracious enough to hook me up with the long block, and she let me take the dry box with it because we were hauling it back in a sleet storm. I did not get these doors from her. The whole idea for the project is when I was 8 years old, 8 or 9, I fell in love with the 56, and I'll tell you why. That dashboard, it has 2 of these triangular cutouts in it, and the fact that unlike the 55, there is no gas door here. You feel the gas through the taillight. I just absolutely fell in love with it, thought the cars were clean, and on top of that, the way 56s have their trim, they come down here, and if you have Bel Air trim, drops down the quarter and it splits the car perfectly for a beautiful two-tone paint job. And that's why I wanted a 56. Everybody loves a 57, including me, but everyone has a 57 that is into Tri-5s. Or they have a 55 because a 55 is the quintessential Americana gasser. So I didn't want either one of those. I wanted to be a little bit different while also being the same. And a 4-door is about the only way that I could get one. And of course, $300, even in this condition, it's restorable, and we're going to. Now the mission was, how do I get it to be a 2-door? On Power Tour, I put out a feeler, had some money with me. I was driving that, so I had a pickup and a way to haul parts home. Ran into a guy's name by the name of Justin Wilkerson. He's out of Russell Springs, Kentucky. All he deals with is Tri-5 parts. He said, come on out to the house, where I bought the second trunk lid, got this hood, a full set of Bel Air trim, and if you look back there, 2-door quarter panels so that I can convert this thing. And he cut them wide, so I have some material to work with. This car is going to be a huge project, and there's going to be a ton of videos coming out starting next year. I'm not going to rush getting on it because I still need to gather some parts for it. I know it looks messy, but this is what they look like before I get going on it. I just gather parts so I have enough that I can just get rolling on it. I've got inner fenders, front apron, radiator support, new fuel system. There's several ways to convert these that guys do. I want to do it to where it looks factory, so we're going to actually move this. I've got a pair of original factory Tri-5 doors, and the biggest thing is this goes away. Tri-5s are not separated here in the 2 doors. This is all one big window. So we go out to Odessa, we pick this car up, and we get ready to haul it home with our new haul of stuff. And here it sits. The next big video I'll show you is going to be the story on Lola, the 66 F100 there, and why this project hasn't stalled but hasn't really started. It's going to be a resto mod, a 2-door conversion with late model drivetrain for dependability. This will be the nicest hot rod I've ever owned when it is done. My wife said she wants fuel injection, AC, and for it to be comfortable. So this one's way less race car and way more cruiser, but it's going to have my touch on it. So here's the building blocks. I've got CNC ported heads, an aluminum LS6 with a Magic Stick 4 camshaft, and we're going to stroke it. So it should be around 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated, have a good lump. We're going to put a 6-speed in it and update the suspension. Over there, I've already got a Detroit speed rack and pinion conversion for it. It's got a long way to go, but that's the story of my Tri-5 and how it came to be. And I thank you guys for watching. Again, I appreciate every single one of you that likes my videos and follows along. But this one's a little bit longer than the shorts, I know. But some of these cars have a story that just doesn't fit in a 3-minute short. So the next big one I'll do is probably that. I'll make a little short video about the fact that I made the long video, I guess. And what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening is I actually have some work that I've done on Lola here. The A-pillar has been finished, and I'm going to start trimming down my floor panel to fit in here. And what I'll do is some more progress videos as it comes. I'll film some tips and tricks and try to make a quick short on that. This weekend we're going to try to get this in so we can move on to the next stage in this. So thank you guys all for watching, and again, I appreciate it. You guys keep me coming back, so thank you very much. That's the 56. It doesn't have a name because I really haven't started working on it, so stay tuned for more updates on this. I'll be honest, I'm not even 100% on the colors I'm going to go. I have two two-tone paint schemes in my head. She's going to be sweet. It's going to have a lot of fabrication and a lot of metalwork getting done, so there will be tons of tips and tricks videos on how to take an old car from the desert in a field and how to get it back on the road. So she's got a long way to go, but it's going to be fun, and we're going to do some cool little trick stuff to it along the way. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We're going to do some cool stuff.